Hello and peace be upon you. I am Ahmed Al-Ali and this is the Stories channel on March 2014. Ion. At 12:11 a.m., Flight MH370 took off from Kuala Lumpur International Airport heading to Beijing. The plane had 227 passengers and 12 crew members at 1:19 a.m. Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah in the last contact. Good night, Malaysia 370. A little later, the plane disappeared from the radar. When the flight was delayed and did not arrive in Beijing, search teams began to prepare and a massive search operation launched. There are 26 countries and their research covered vast areas of the Indian Ocean. The engineers started analyzing the data and a British company provided vital information showing that the plane continued to fly for many hours even after it disappeared from the radar. Based on the satellite data provided by the company, search vessels were deployed and they focused their search on the southern Indian Ocean. Despite the significant efforts, they found no trace of any airplane and no wreckage. Experts began to discuss the reason for the disappearance, and many theories came up, from kidnapping and pilot suicide to mechanical failure and even abduction by aliens, but nothing was confirmed. On July 2015, specifically on the beach of the island, a union thousands of miles away from the search area found a piece of the airplane wing, they call it. Scientists began examining the debris and confirmed that the debris belonged to Flight 370, but this did not provide much information about what happened. The search for underwater vessels continued. They scanned the ocean floor but with no conclusive results. Investigators revisited the theories and focused on the possibility of deliberate sabotage, deliberately by people on board the plane, but this did not make much difference. Afterwards, psychologists began analyzing the files and reviewed the psychological records of the crew and passengers, but there was no motive or suspect. A clear and straightforward evidence put Captain Zahari Ahmad Shah under intense scrutiny, and here was the shock. Simulations on the flight simulator found in his house showed paths similar to the route taken by the flight. The affected families were in deep sorrow, holding vigils and demanding answers from the authorities. Beyond both parties, the governments of Malaysia, China and Australia faced widespread criticism for their irresponsible response, as described by some. Conspiracy theories spread on the internet, with some suggesting collusion. A government mistake or military operations led to this disaster. Scientists began studying ocean currents to predict the locations of drifting debris. This led to new searches on remote and deserted islands. They purchased vehicles called Bluefin 21. These are, of course, autonomous vehicles. But that's not our topic. The vehicles began scanning the ocean floor again, but they didn't find anything. There was an emotional impact on the affected families. Huge. Many of them tried to adapt but stopped. But they were not sure they would find the bodies of the missing victims in 2017 ETM. The Australian Transport Safety Bureau, or the Australian Aviation Safety Bureau, issued a report about the possibility of an uncontrolled fall into the ocean based on new analysis. They identified a new search area, but there were no resources or funding. Enough. What happened is that a private company called Ocean Infinity conducted a new search in the year 2018 using advanced underwater drones. Ocean Infinity's search started with hope but ended once again in failure. Alacesis and Hataitis Asavi. Without final results, a tremendous advancement was made in radar and satellite technology to prevent incidents of interception. Future prospects. The personal stories of the passengers and crew were published, which added a human aspect to the tragedy and kept their memories alive. Memorials were established in several different countries to honor the victims of the flight. Despite extensive search and investigation operations, many questions about MH370 remain without schedule. And the disappearance of MH370. It brought significant changes to aviation safety and tracking protocols. The weight of flight MH370. Constantly, a fateful reminder of the vastness and unpredictability of our world. The search for answers continues, but the fate of MH370 remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries of our time. We ask God for wellness and peace. This was Ahmed Al-Ali from Kissa's channel. Best regards. Don't forget to subscribe to receive all the new updates. Goodbye.